How to be a great achiever. Purpose of motivational stories. Stories. Right from our childhood, we get excited to listen to these stories. We not only remember most of them at the right occasion, but also pass them to our next generation. When you are on a mission, even a small story can change your life. I have experienced it myself on several occasions. Dear parents, our child looks upon us for support when they face failures or feel down in their life. You can boost their morale and motivate them with an appropriate story at the right time. Let me tell you the scientific reason about why these stories and anecdotes are effective. People think analytically with left part of their brain and take decisions with the right side of the brain. The left brain is stimulated with facts and figures which are extremely useful for asking required information. But it does not take part in decision making. It is the right side of the brain which takes decisions when it is stimulated by success or failure stories, anecdotes and images. This system is effectively used by salespersons for selling their products, politicians for getting votes, and religious leaders for creating their cult. With the same principle, these stories can help you and your children in finalizing the vision with absolute conviction required for any mission. My purpose is fulfilled even if one of these stories have created positive difference to you and your family members. Want to become a great achiever? Great people don't become great because they want to become great. They become great because they want to do something in their life that will make difference to the world. If you are desperate to look out for something that will make the difference to the world or humanity, you will find it as found by late Dr. Dwarkanath Kotnis. Dr. Dwarkanath Kotnis was born in 1910 to a lower middle class family in Solapur who graduated from GS Medical College, Mumbai. He was one of the 5 Indian physicians sent to China to provide medical assistance during the Second Sino-Japanese War in 1938. All except Dr. Kotnis returned safely to India. Dr. Kotnis was only 28 then. He stayed in China for almost 5 years, working in mobile clinics to treat wounded soldiers. The hardships of military life and stresses of being the frontline doctor, who often had to work for over 72 hours at a stretch, finally affected his health. Dr. Kotnis died of epilepsy in 1942 at the tender age of 32 and was buried in Heroes Courtyard, Nanquan village in China. Mao Zedong, the leader of Red Army, mourned his death by saying, "The army has lost a helping hand. The nation has lost a friend. Let us always bear in mind his international spirit." Dr. Kotnis continues to be revered by Chinese people and even has his statue there. In April 2005, his grave was covered completely in flowers donated by the people of China during the festival when they honor their ancestors. How proud we should be about Dr. Kotnis for being the only Indian to achieve such an honor from people of China for his selfless sacrifice. Deciding what I want. I'll now tell you how one can come to the conclusion of what he or she wants. First, imagine 15 years ahead about the field you wish to enter. For example, today in engineering career, most children in India are desperate to become a software programmer because they see success of Infosys, great salary and jobs abroad. And because Mr. Narayan Murthy is the role model. Please remember, Infosys entered into IT industry in 1980 because they had a vision 15 years ahead of them. 15 years from now, when India will be one of the superpowers, greatest demand will be for infrastructure. Similarly, other developing countries that have India as role model will look for support of India in their infrastructural development. So any specialization you start in that direction will take you to the heights of Infosys. Similarly, global growth in healthcare industry will create demands not only for doctors of various medical specialties and super specialties, but also for paramedical and management champions. Specialization in any educational domain will become opportunity, be it botany, zoology, oceanology or archaeology. And if you specialize in selling, you'll fit into anything and everything forever, because the world will be a huge global market by then and selling will never stop. Now I'll tell you how you get direction of your ultimate goal. First, list your dreams. Do not hesitate to actually write down what your dreams are. Here my granny's story will help you. She had once told me to keep my life's dream always in my mind. She said, if you have not found anything specific, at least keep saying, I want to do something great that will be useful to the world. Naturally, I asked her why. In her way, she explained me what all management gurus interpret as positive thinking and goal setting. She said, the god Shani keeps moving all over the world from the heaven. He comes over the head of each living creature only once in lifetime and says Tathastu, which means you will get it. Therefore, we always have to keep only good and specific thoughts in our mind. Some people get the opportunity early in their life and some get it late. But you surely get what you ask for. This positive thinking and goal setting plays an important role in developing what is called a burning desire. Now to get the direction. Once you have even rough idea about your dream, start meeting successful people and ask them for advice. If you are desperate for information, you will get the right person soon. Please remember, the best person is always available to guide you. I have experienced it myself many occasions. Way back in 80s, someone told me to meet Dr. Mohanbhai Patel when I knew nothing about him. He gave me an appointment at 8 o'clock in the morning and gave about an hour of advice on my project of career guidance. He even introduced me to his other visitors with high respect and came down from his cabin on the 4th floor to leave me at the gate of his factory. It was only later I came to know that this ex-sheriff of Mumbai was a very successful industrialist and agriculturist. He was actively involved as trustee of over 80 educational institutions, including Bombay College of Pharmacy and NMIMS. He was advisor for VJTI and was chairman of All India Council for Technical Education. His circle involved every top politician and industrialist in India. Yet, every time I met him, he had all the time in the world to guide me with high respect and honor that I had never expected nor imagined. Decades ago, this Dr. Mohanbhai Patel had spotted an energetic youth in the local train of Mumbai and helped him with his place in the prime location of Mumbai to start a technical education center. Today it is known as Kohinoor Technical Institute, and the youngster whom he helped was Principal Manohar Joshi, who later became Chief Minister of Maharashtra and Speaker of Indian Parliament. Henry Ford used to get hundreds of letters every week asking for money, but rarely received any letter asking for advice on how to make money. Successful and great people quickly identify a person craving for this help and are more than eager to share their experiences and opinions to a person worthy of their help. But how can I achieve my dream? The answer is by simply acting upon your dream. Achieving your dream works on the principle of combination law. Trying out different ways until you find your destination is the only way of achieving your dream. And for that, you have to learn application of knowledge. What we learn in schools and colleges is called education. What we add through our experience and craving is called knowledge. And when we apply that knowledge for the benefit of others, it is called talent. It is this talent that takes us to our goal. And I have a story here. Once a proud peacock lived in the forest near the lake. Every day he would open his beautiful feathers and see his reflection in the lake water and admire his beauty. One day a white crane came at the lake. He was busy catching fish when Peacock started his daily rituals of praising his feathers. He came near the crane and asked, "How do you feel with these plain and simple feathers which do not even add to your appearance?" The crane replied, "Feathers and wings are given to us to fly. What is the use of colorful feathers if you cannot fly with them? I would rather have simple and useful wings than showy and useless ones like you." The crane then spread his wings and flew away, keeping the peacock speechless. So friends, it is not degrees, immense knowledge or intelligence that helps in achieving greatness. You have to find your ways to benefit people with what you have and what you can.